I went to Pakistan to visit my family members, and during the conversations with my family members and just looking at local newspapers and looking at local news channels, I found out that there were these civilian casualties of Pakistanis happening because of these drone strikes. And to know that they are unmanned piloted aircrafts that are operated remotely through thousands of miles away was something that was quite intriguing. And I also wanted to know what actually drones look like. What is the exterior? What is the interior? Of course, there isn't that much information about the interior because of the secrecy behind the program. I have been during my research, I found out that the Bureau of Investigative Journalism has been documenting all the drone strikes in Pakistan, and they actually have their own project that is called Naming the Dead, and that's where the inspiration came from, where they have lists and names and gender and age of all the civilians who have died in drone strikes. So I used their data as a way to use that list that I would ask American civilians to basically read the name from that list. And I think there is something that happens with these names that are foreign and the pronunciations of those names, how they are identity of a person, they make you who you are.
I think the part of the danger and allure or whatever of these machines is that we do, because there's nobody in them, I don't know, it feels like there is more of a disconnect even of who they are killing.
They're not just collateral damage. They had names, they were somebody's family members, they were somebody's relative, and in some of these cases, the drone strikes killed whole family.
I don't know, for some reason we think even less maybe of the person on the other end, because it is, this is all controlled, like, I don't know, by remote control. So it becomes more remote somehow. I think the victim as well, and particularly, I mean, which this piece is about, particularly when the victim is an unintentional one, then that's a whole other story of American responsibility for that.
Yeah, but 6 degrees of separation, right? I mean, we're not that far off from knowing each other. Right. Maybe these people, I might not know somebody with that name, but maybe my father knew somebody whose name was Muhammad Tahir.
You keep playing different parts in it, sort of, as a viewer, that you are both, I mean, you see yourself in the domes, and then you also are standing above these names on the floor, which are kind of, I mean, you're almost playing the drone at that point as well. So it kind of keeps shifting, I would say, your role in the piece, feeling that I don't know what I've done up to this point if I stepped on people on the floor, which it was an uncomfortable feeling on top of all the other uncomfortable feelings that this brought up.
I think there are some disrespectful gestures that are almost universal. It doesn't need too much explanation, and there is no cultural difference there. But I feel like with these names and stepping on names is same as disrespecting or disregarding or not be able to see and just ignore something that's there. I feel like there is always a personal connection. There's always that personal story that triggers the project, but then where it goes and what happens to it and how does other people relate to it is something that's really interesting and is exciting for me to see how do other people approach that. Are they going to notice this? What is it like walking through this exhibit when you walk over some of these names without realizing that they're there? And then the act of walking over and also the way that these are placed almost looks like that aerial view of a land where they just exist.